Have you ever noticed how people leave dark online communities? There's a pattern here most people miss. Leaving doesn't start with some big, dramatic rebellion. It starts with something much, much smaller. A moment where the certainty just slips, where the answers start to feel rehearsed, where, for just a second, you feel a flicker of doubt and you don't immediately push it away. We've talked before about how these dark online spaces gain their power. They offer a sense of belonging, absolute certainty, and a powerful identity. This is how people actually get out. It's not through heated debates or logical arguments. It happens through quiet, subtle changes inside their own minds. Leaving rarely starts with facts. It starts with inconsistency. A big prediction fails to happen. A leader contradicts something they said before. A promised big reveal never arrives. At first, the mind scrambles to protect the belief. You'll hear excuses like, "Oh, it's just been delayed," or "You must have misunderstood what they meant," or even, "They're just testing our faith." But doubt is like a splinter. You can try to ignore it, but your thoughts just keep returning to that one sore spot. And that right there is the first crack in the wall of certainty. Then comes the exhaustion. These communities run on high-octane emotional fuel. It's constant outrage, constant urgency, constant crisis. The anger starts to feel repetitive and draining. The urgency feels forced, like a performance. People don't always leave because they're convinced by new facts. A lot of the time, they leave simply because they're tired. The emotional fuel that powered the entire belief system just starts to run out. And when that intensity finally fades, so does the psychological grip. This next part is one of the biggest turning points, and it's not what you think. It's not confrontation, it's contrast. It's when someone starts spending more time with old friends, gets absorbed in their job, picks up a hobby, or just spends more time in their offline life. This contact with normality reminds the brain what a non-crisis reality actually feels and sounds like. Slowly, the tone of the online community starts to feel extreme. What once felt like urgent, undeniable truth now just starts feeling loud. That contrast, that simple difference in feeling, weakens the group's hold more than any debate ever could. But the real exit happens when the identity begins to shift. Beliefs don't just vanish overnight. The identity has to change first. A person starts having thoughts like, "This isn't who I want to be anymore," or "I don't like how this anger and fear makes me feel all the time." Or they might look in the mirror and think, "I don't even recognize myself here." When a person's sense of self detaches from the group identity, the belief system loses its anchor. It has nothing to hold on to anymore. And that's when the psychological tether really begins to snap. It starts with fewer comments on posts, less checking the group chat. The gaps between visits get longer and longer. There's usually no grand announcement, no final confrontation. It's just distance, a slow, quiet fade. Until one day, the urgency that once felt like the most important thing in the world just feels like distant noise. In the end, dark online communities don't lose their power because they're defeated in some epic battle of ideas. They lose power because the human mind naturally seeks balance. Certainty without any flexibility will always crack under pressure. And an identity that leaves no room for personal choice will eventually feel suffocating. So slowly and quietly, people just step back. And now that you've seen this pattern, I think you'll start noticing it everywhere. Thanks for watching.